Good evening and welcome to Off the Line Racing. It is the penultimate round here for Tier 2, only having 11 races rather than Tier 1 having 12. But we have a mighty fine battle on the line. It is still going for the championship, still going for the drivers. The constructors is well and truly done and dusted, that's for sure. It's Alpine dominance. I don't think a team could catch at this stage, but for now, we get ourselves over to the mighty Lusail, Qatar. Beautiful track with its 5.38 kilometre long circuit. 16 turns, 10 are to the right. So those left tyres are going to feel the pressure, especially around that fast triple right-hander through Sector 3. It's full throttle for at least 68% of the lap and then coasting it, sending it through some corners, gentle on the throttle, even just half power. So again, you're constantly on that accelerator. You will burn that ERS deployment before you finish the lap. Join with me. He was here last week. Fantastic job with me. He did last week. It is the mighty Sam84. How are we doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Very, very well. Excited for this one. And yeah, everybody is in the session, but somebody's disconnected, and I think we may
I'll get them back in now.
Because of that, I think it may have caused a little issue.
Let's hope otherwise.
We are okay. The session is working. I'm just making sure because I'm the host. I just wanted to make sure that everything was all well and good and didn't want to be broken. Nevertheless, we're about to get into qualifying, so don't let us keep you waiting any longer.
Yeah, very excited. Very very quick track. A lot of quick drivers joining us here today. I'm more than ready to get this underway.
Absolutely. Nobody's coming out. Oh, wait, I say that. They are starting to get themselves out of Parc Fermé. Although Parc Fermé being turned off, you can adjust your setups. They get themselves going to the grid.
Yeah, indeed. I think it's going to be Red Devil first out on track. Let's see, what these drivers can put in today. What are your predictions for qualifying today, Corey?
Oh, well, there is a fight between Gacha and Red Devils. Not Gacha and Banana, the teammates. The Alpines have been dominant all season long, I've got to say. When it was just a PC only, and now we've converted to full crossplay, introducing a little spice in the field. You have your Tier 1 champion here as well, Leon. You can't count him out. Maybe he's going to be the difference to slow it down and take it to that final round. We'll just have to wait to see how Gacha can finish against his teammate, but he's been strong all season, even with the new additions in crossplay. I've got to give it to the Alpine Gacha. He could be looking good for the victory here. He likes circuits like this.
Yeah, definitely. He loves the high-speed circuits, loves high-speed corners. He's been phenomenal all year. Even if he's not been winning, he's been right there. He's been with the pack, scoring points week in, week out. Even last week, starting from the back of the grid, still managed to score just that 1 point, which is, in a championship fight that's this close, is ever so important. I mean, you can't knock him. He's done an incredible job, despite, how many extremely quick drivers there are in here.
Absolutely. Well, now we'll set our sights on the mighty Red Devil, the driver who's been shaking things up, putting his V-carb up there and pressurising the front runners, challenging for podiums and race victories. He powers down towards the line, opens that rear wing, starts his first timed lap. The banker's going to be crucial here in Qatar. Yesterday we saw a banker time that went unbeaten for a good 10 minutes of the session. Well, here tonight we can only hope to see a driver to be able to do that and get that confidence. Red Devil's looking fairly squared away as he's coming through the first sector, comes up towards turn number 4 now. This is where things can get a bit spicy, a little bit dicey. If he runs it too wide, picks himself up on over those white lines, it is Invalidation City. There is lots of runoff in Qatar, not many barriers to find yourself getting collected in, but that gravel, you clip that, you get anywhere near it, and you're sending yourself out of control. Although you're running max downforce, it's not going to save you against those stones.
No, certainly it will not, and with it being such a high-speed track, it is so unforgiving when you make a mistake. And one thing I do love about this track is predominantly it is just based, on raw pace. It's very, very hard, if you want to do an undercut. You have to be the quicker driver. Otherwise, it really isn't going to give you that much of an advantage, especially, 1-2 laps, as we saw yesterday, what was it? Sausage Joe came in 4 or 5 laps later than the people that he was running with, and, he was right at the back of the train still. Red Devils at a 1 minute 20.9.
Ooh.
Just barely beating him. Wow. It's that 400th of a second there. Very, very close up at the top already. Very important that these guys are getting their bankers in, as you said just then, Corey. As Banana now, just about a tenth quicker. That is, showing he's not giving up just yet. He might be behind, but he's still gonna fight.
Oh yes, look at these times. The 20s are flooding in. The competition is electric and the grid is certainly hot. The times though, just 2/10 to pole position between 5 drivers on banker laps. Let's go. This is going to get spicy and you love to see it happen. I'm going to get our eyes on the Fizz, who could be the man to come round. Oh no, he's on an outlap, never mind. Who else is leading the charge? That's a Mercedes who's on a time lap. That could be AMS Bobby's time to get himself up into that top 5. Can he get in the 20s? Can he make the difference? Almost read it wide out of 16 though. Those white lines, the track limits are awful, but it's a 21.7, slowest runner so far. Aston Martin coming around, going into the box. Anybody else to come into the pits? Not from that pack. None of the Red Bulls either. Oh, it's Leon. The Mercedes. The Tier 1 champion, but it is an invalidation. He will go back to the pit lane. Anybody else coming to set a time? It is Fusion Chuck and he crosses the line. It's a 21.1. Where did the 30 come from? I don't know where that came from.
Thank goodness it's not 31.1. That would have been very, very scary for Fusion Chuck if that was a 31 right there.
No, there is no Micro Ave tonight, unfortunately. We'd love to see him. The Micro Ave is not here.
No, unfortunately, he's missing out today. So far, it's pretty quick times being set. Top 5 all in the 120s. That is what you want to see, especially on a banker. I mean, Leon invalidating on his banker it's going to be tough for him now. He's already starting out qualifying on the back foot. That's never where you want to be in qualifying. Your banker is so important to set. You've got to get that time on the board. Then at least where you are, where you can improve, and hopefully no punches for him this week.
Yeah, that was. I made it a gif of it because it was funny. I make gifs of funny little moments so I can send them to people. It's like, yeah, well, you did this. So I never let people live it down, but that was rather dramatic. And he even said that the tyre wear wasn't as bad as it was in Tier 1. So the Tier 2 race, the tyre conditions were completely different. We see Ice Cream cross the line there to get his banker lap in 21.2. But Julian Prince is the next on a time lap, I believe. Everybody else coming around to get themselves back into the pits and get some fresh boots on, restock that fuel. Could be the next time to cross the line. That could be pole position. Banana currently sat there comfortably with at least a 10th to IRT Nick. So if he does have more time in the lap, he's going to make it come out maybe in the final few minutes. I don't know. Maybe let's see what Nick can do. Put him under pressure. He's still in the pits, as you can see. Nick is coming out trying to find that time, so he's certainly waiting out for that to see what's going to happen. And in the final few minutes, put that improvement in.
Yeah, as Julian Prince crossing the line now, what can he do? Where can he put his car? Only P11. Not the greatest of laps from him there. I'd expect more from Julian, but maybe a couple of mistakes. And at the end of the day, he's a banker. That's what they're for. They're for making mistakes. They're for getting that rough time on the board, just so he's got it. And when he goes out for a second half, he's gonna have that crucial, valuable data of where he went wrong, where he can improve, and how he can do it.
Yeah, I fully agree with you though, mate. Currently on board with Nick. I'm going to stay with him for this lap to see if he can put any challenge towards Banana. Well, he certainly will do, because that is a 10th up on the first sector. So he has the time in the bag. He's finding it where Banana found it. Can Banana, though, still improve on it? He's still... Oh, there's a snap! Oh, coming into Sector 2, Nick may have cost his 10th. He may have lost that there. Struggling to get the power down as he came around that right-hander, trying to get himself collected and going again. That was just unfortunate for him. Bit of a wobble, bit of a snap, but he's still 2/10 up on his time, so this is a massive improvement. He's almost 3/10 up. It's still to play as we get around down towards turn 15. Can the improvement come here? Any more time in the lap? Now's the time to set it. You've still got 9 minutes to go in qualifying. And if this is the improvement you see so far, it won't surprise me to see the very low 20s here with these drivers. The Aston Martin across the line. It's a 20.5. There it is. Banana's coming on his outlap. He's seen the improvements come in. He knows he must respond. Gatcher up into P2 there. 20.7. Wow.
Yeah, some really quick laps being set here. You know, I'm really excited to see what is coming for this. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a 10-car fight for the win. Genuinely, it's going to be so close out there today. Like, you know, like I said before, the advantage at this track, there just really isn't any. You know, even with the DRS, you don't gain an awful lot. So yeah, I'm just really excited. I feel like the driver that comes out on top today is most likely just going to be because they were the quickest. You know, and that is what it's going to come down to. That, you know, that extra 10th, that extra 1,000th, whatever it is, that's what we're going to see today.
Well, just watch Belkowski just get himself behind Gatcher. Oh, look at that. Look at that. 7-7-3, 7-8-8, 7-9-2 between P2 and P4. 3 drivers also close. It's hundredths and thousandths separating them. This is an insane qualifying to go, and there's still more laps to come. 7 minutes. Oh, I didn't think we'd get this quick already. I can't lie, Sam.
No, you know, seeing them, you know, high 120 straight away out the gate, you know, pretty. You know, you can tell the quick drivers. Yeah, I don't. There's not really much else I can say, other than we've got a race on our hands tonight. I think. You know, strategy is going to come down to a big part of it. Obviously, yesterday, Sausage Joe starting on the hards, you know, didn't have the greatest pace at the start, but by the time, you know, the middle of the stint came, you know, all the other drivers started to box. He just put his head down, put some good laps in, and then by the end of it, he was right behind them on fresh mediums with 8 laps to go. And that at the end of the day was what made the difference. You know, even with a time penalty, he still pulled away, was 4 or 5 seconds ahead by the end of the race. So I think a lot of the drivers today are going to be looking at that and thinking, you know, that is the strategy to be on. And yeah, I'm really interested to see what some of these drivers are going to pick here.
Yeah, it certainly opens the door for that strategy to be for Sean once again, and what a strategy it was from Sausage Joe yesterday. Managed to absolutely smash it on strategy. Banana just slaps that Alpine ahead of his teammate by just under a 10th. It is literally 1,000th off a 10th.
Yeah, it's extremely close there. You know, Banana pulling it to the line, 120.6, very competitive time. You know, even if he didn't go out, I wouldn't expect to see him fall lower than, you know, 6th, 7th with how things are going, you know, today.
See, this is where things get crazy now, because Nick's showing serious pace, and he's on
Hold
another
on, Corey, I'm just
outlet.
going to interrupt you. As Marius Anderson is a second up on his time through Sector 1. I don't know if that is a visual glitch or is he just become the quickest driver in the world.
That's got to be some form of visual glitch. There it is. He crosses the sector line 2 seconds down.
Yeah, there we go. Well, I thought I was about to. Mental there, I'm not going to lie.
That was worse. There was no way we're seeing a 19. I could go low 20s, right? If we see a 19, that's about to get crazy.
Yeah, that would have been scenes for sure.
Red Devil just about leveling his time at the minute on that 20.9 as he comes up towards to finish Sector 2. Gets around the triple right-hander. He did manage to pull just over half a 10th coming up there just now, but now he gets down to turn 15. What's going to happen here? I'm interested. Can the Devil get himself closer to put the pressure on the cars he's been challenging all season long? The V-Carb has shown his pace before. Oh, it's just not enough. It's just not enough. He's still behind Marius Anderson. I wanted to see him get further up the field, but I don't know, maybe he's got the time, if he absolutely hammers it around the circuit now, to go one final lap. It's going to be close to get down that pit lane as well. I don't know. Oh, can he do it? I don't think he will. 5 minutes, we saw it happen, but just almost 4 minutes to go. I don't know if we'll see that.
Yeah, I think any driver out on the track now needs to just think about they've either got to put an absolutely stonking lap in now or just abort it and get into the pit lane as quick as possible. As Nick coming through Sector 2, just at the end of Sector 2 now, in Sector 3, 10th up on his time. He's going to send it through now, coming towards the final few turns. Can he improve? I think he can. He's looking very strong. Coming through the final corner now. Just on the limit, barely inside the track limits. Lovely line, burn all the way down. And it is a 120.4. It is an improvement of 1/10. Not the best. If, towards the end of the session here, I don't think he's going to have time to come back in and do another lap.
I pressed 1. I thought I was pressing 1 like 3 times. But I was pressing the Q. I was wondering why it wasn't changing camera. I was pressing Q instead of the 1 on my keyboard, so we missed the final couple turns of Nick's lap, but he has extended that pole position, and I think that will be his qualifying done. Now he needs to wait patiently. Is anybody able to respond to that? It's quite a margin, that's quite a gap.
Yeah, 2/10, especially in qualifying, especially with how quick these drivers are, is a lot. Leon's still yet to set a lap. He's on the track now for his out lap. I'll be really interested to see what he can do for a one-shot quali. Maybe he's just been getting track data this whole time. Maybe he's just not had time to practice, and he was using them first few laps for a bit of bit of information, just so he can smash it up there for his final lap. But we'll have to see. It's very risky play not setting a time and leaving it all down to the final lap.
So Nick, we've seen him box. I don't even know if have they got the time to do it again. I don't think they have, but we're seeing them box. We're seeing drivers box. Nick comes in as well. I saw Adjaman coming who I thought was on a lap. Leon is the one to watch. He's going to have somewhat clean air, providing there is some traffic coming out now. There's still 2 minutes to go. Oh, he's had a bit of a wobble there. He's ran it wide. He's invalidated it.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be your qualifying over there, Leon.
Oh,
that is unfortunate.
He's invalidated it right when he didn't need to. Right when he needed it to just give him that time, produce the lap needed to slap himself in contention. Coming round the final turn, 16, just a wobble, caught that understeer, slides it round, and that is it. Off the tracks, invalidation. Dives into the pits, and he will be done for this session. We do have Fusion Chuck now coming across the line to start, and he will be the first driver to set the time on the board in the final runs. Nick has retired. He doesn't have the time to go again. We see a Red Bull coming out, I think. Is that Adjaman? I don't know if he's got the time. Vettel retiring, everybody else retiring.
No, I don't think he will. 1 minute on the board and he's gone straight on. Okay, I guess he wanted to retire. Anyway, Fusion has invalidated.
He has indeed.
Can he get round in time? 50 seconds in Sector 2 now. I mean, it'll be tight if he does do it, but them tyres are going to be worn now. I'd be surprised if he can set a quicker lap.
It is going to be very, very close. But AMS Bobby will be the one to set the first time so far. I wonder how much he's up on his time. Leon retires, rightly so. He can't go again. He's had invalidation after invalidation. Your Tier 1 champion has found himself in a bit of a rut and just couldn't get a time on the board. Meanwhile, AMS Bobby currently sitting himself just under a 10th up on his time. That will put him in the 20s, but it's not enough to jump Vettel yet. Still needs to pull more time in this lap, needs to put some more pressure on, really send it through these turns and trust that Mercedes is going to do what you want it to do. But as we come down through turn 10, I don't know if it's enough.
No, finishing, coming out of Sector 2 now. Let's see, where can he improve? What can he do? He's lost a bit of time, in fact. That is not what you want to see. He's still going to be in the 1 minute 20s, but is it going to be enough to take that P7? I don't think it is, as he comes now through turn 16. You know, really tricky corner here. You've got to be on the limit. You've got to be very careful. The track limits on exit. Just about keeps it in. Burn all the way down to the line. Is a 120.9. Not enough to beat Vettel, as the Fizz now coming across the line. It is a 3/10 improvement. Puts him up just a position. I think a 121.2. Let's see who's next across the line. Is that the McLaren of Brakowski, I believe? Doesn't improve.
Gatcha goes to the pits. Is that Marius Anderson? It's not. It'll be Ice Cream first, who jumps to P10, and then Marius Anderson, who doesn't improve on that time. We have a V-carb down towards the line. It's the Devil up into P3. What a lap needed. He takes himself up to the second row. This is where things get interesting. He's right where he needs to be to put pressure on those
Fusion
Alpines.
coming 2/10 up.
Fusion.
Oh, and he's put it into the pit wall. Well, you can't win them all.
Do you know,
Certainly can't.
we've had retires, but crashing on the track. I don't know if that's going to be seen as something you'd want to do, but
That's definitely a new one for me.
yeah, you don't want to crash yourself out in qualifying, although it has absolutely no effect. You just got to see why you would need to do it. Just getting my screenshots. But Nick Paul, Banana P2, Red Devil P3. We like to see the Devil up there where he wants to be, where he finds himself the most comfortable. Right there on the second row. Turn one's going to be interesting, but not only from the front row, but from that mid-pack. You have drivers known to be a little bit quicker. Julian Prince, Adjaman, Ice Cream. You have Vettel, Bobby. Drivers to get themselves in the mix. They may go for some lunges, some moves. It is all yet to come out to play. But for now, we come back to the commentator's booth while we just take a quick look at the standings. Like we said, the fight is not over. So Sam, take us away with the driver's standings there, my friend.
Yeah, as we pull it up now, we've got obviously Gatcha leading the way, 13 points ahead. You know, he holds the aces right now. He is ahead. All he's got to do is just finish in the points. You know, finished one place above, one place behind. He just, as long as he's there with Banana, you know, he's not going to lose too many points here today. He's going to be looking for a fight. I mean, you know, the top three in the top four on the grid. It's all to play for. Still, you know, even though, you know, second to last round, I mean, Red Devil with an absolutely stonking qualifying P3, getting himself right there. You know, he's 26 points behind with your Banana 13 points behind. I mean, it's still close, you know, and you know, Gacho wasn't unable to, you know, Bridges' lead last week. I think he did say before the race he wasn't going to try for it. He was just he wanted to keep it close, so he deliberately didn't qualify. But even still, with how chaotic the race got last week, he still, you know, only scored 1 point. Moving further on down, we got Bajkowski in the McLaren in P4, up 4 positions from last week with a great finish on the podium. You know, can't complain really. He's been great the last few races. Definitely struggled out in the Americas, but other than that, I've seen nothing but just pure pace from him, and I'm excited to see what he can do here today. Just behind Bajkowski is the Ferrari Marius Anderson, sitting there, 56 points, 1 point behind Bajkowski, still in it for P4. Sorry, is Marius Anderson. Same with Ludek, although he is not going to be racing tonight, so we will not see him, you know, scoring any points, attempting to climb a bit further up that ladder. Moving on past Ludek, he's got the Fizz reserve driver. And, you know, he's in P7. He's had a great season, in my opinion. You know, he's been there for every race he's attended. Scored points when it mattered. Yeah, just all round great driving from him this season. Moving on to P8, PW Jones, just behind him, Ripson. Jonesy, I believe, is racing tonight, but Ripson is not. Ripson, obviously, the Aston Martin driver, P2 last week. Great drive from him, you know. First stint, he didn't seem like he was with the pace, but came right back at him, pulled it out of the bag at the end, you know, got the position, even if it was on track limit penalties, he was still there, he put his car where it needed to be. Just behind Ripson, Julian Prinz in the RB Honda, you know, 10th, 3 points behind Ripson, could overtake him today, you know. provided he gets his car out of that, out of them low positions and scores some decent points here today. Let's see. Behind Prinz in P11, we've got Arjuman. He's here with us today. Not the best of qualifyings, but he's still there. He's only 12 points behind. Still everything to play for. 2 rounds left. Anything could happen. Don't give up that hope. Then P12 is Zeno, reserve driver again, having a decent season, putting points on the board. Can't complain. Hako as well. He's no longer racing, but he did start at the start. He was here at the start of the season. Had some very good results. He was up there, at the beginning, but unfortunately he's no longer racing with us. IRT Nick, first week last week, slapped it on pole, won the race. Can't complain. He's shown he is quick. He's not one to mess about. He's gonna be fighting for it. He's got pole again today. Again, can't complain. He's flying out there, and I love to see it. New competition coming in. Just behind Nick is Silo, missing out so far today. Not too sure what's going on with that, but he was meant to be here. Unfortunately, I don't think he's going to be racing with us. And then behind Silo, you have Bobby and Ice Cream, Mercedes and Ferrari, the old rivals. Mercedes 23 points behind Ferrari in the constructors. Bobby definitely going to be looking for some results here. Leon, not the greatest of qualifyings. Yeah, Mercedes need to say, need to have a little talk with each other. Need to think, we got to sort it out here. We want to overtake Ferrari in the championship. Brilliant rivalry there. Behind Ice Cream, we got Lazzo, reserve driver, 12 points. Again, can't complain. He's been here for a few races and he's scored points when it matters. Behind Lazzo, we have. Unfortunately, I'm not going to try and pronounce that. With Pero, we'll go with Pero. He is a reserve driver as well. And behind Pero, we've got Colito, I believe.
No, Cotello.
Cotello, sorry. My bad. I'm not the greatest with names. Anyway, as move on to the constructors, if we could, Corey.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's not much to talk about with the constructors, especially with who's winning it, as Alpines have been just a dominant force. 75 points ahead. Constructors wrapped up at this point. Let's face it, no one's beating them. I mean, it'd take them to both retire in both of the final races, and I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't. RB Honda just behind them. Well, I say just 75 points. They've had a good season. P3 and P10 in the drivers, P2 overall in the constructors. They've been working well together. They've been getting their results. Red Devil, P3 in drivers. He's had a brilliant season. And despite the challenge he's had with them Alpines being so dominant, he's never give up, and I'm loving to see it. Just behind Honda, we've got Aston Martin, 134 points, 12 points behind RB Honda. Could Aston Martin take that lead today? We will have to see. Nick winning last week, bringing them points, clawing them in, and we've got a new driver with us today, AMS Dylan. Yet to score any points in the championship. It is his first race, I believe. But yeah, still quick driver. Not the greatest qualifying, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him climbing up the field. I've heard very good things. And just behind the Aston Martins, we've got Mercedes. McLaren, sorry. Now, McLaren had a bit of a rough start to the season. However, they have not let that falter them. Bajkowski fighting for his life last week out. I mean, he was not giving up any positions easy at all. He did not care. He had a great race last week. Did still unfortunately lose their P3 to Aston Martin. But I mean, it was an Aston Martin 1-2. Let's face it, it was going to happen. Bajkowski, again, having a good season. P4 in the drivers. And then you've got Ludek, who isn't with us today. Just a little bit further down the order in P6. Behind the McLarens, you've got Ferrari and Mercedes, the age-old rivals, Sebastian Vettel, Lewis Hamilton, just two teams that just have been going at it for years now. And yeah, P5 and Sticks, even in the sim racing game, they're still they're still rivals. They still just try and each week just to try and edge slightly over them points, beat each other. Ferraris are 30 points behind, P4 sitting in P5, and the Mercedes are further 23 behind Ferrari. Can Mercedes do anything about the Ferrari team? We'll have to see today. 23 points, big gap to climb, but you've got to remember two drivers, double points. Anything's to play for still between them two. And then just behind the Mercedes, we've got Williams Racing, 50 points, 18 behind. And, they've not had an amazing season, but they've given it their all. And, you know, P7 is nothing to be, ashamed of at the end of the day. Behind the Williams, we've got the Red Bulls, really struggling this season. Not had the greatest results, a few retirements, a few times they haven't scored any points at all, but it happens, unfortunately. This is racing, and, from fifth to 10th, the order hasn't changed since last race, at least anyway. Behind the Red Bulls, Kick Sauber Ferrari, 21 points. And then you've got Haas Ferrari. Two Ferrari-powered teams, both struggling a lot. 21 points for the Kick Saubers and 14 for the Haas. Can they do anything today? Can Mano put his car up there? Can the Fizz even? Can he, as a reserve driver, get himself up there? We will have to see. But anyway, we are getting ready to go underway here. What are your predictions for today, Corey? Who do you reckon could take it?
I think Nick's looking fairly dominant, to say the least, my friend. I think Nick could be the one to take it here tonight. Apologies for that delay. We are ready to go, but just before we go, I have one thing to mention. Season 3, sign up information, baby. February 2nd, sign ups open. 3 time trial tracks. This time, we did 2 last season, and the first season 2 times. This time, we want 3. We want you to really show us what you can do. And then maybe you can see yourself in Tier 1 challenging these guys. This is what it's all about. This is where the aggression is. We have fast drivers in Tier 1 and in Tier 2. The Tier 2 came a little bit later on as like a spur of the moment. That's why it's only got 11 rounds. We came 1 round after, but it is mixed completely of some of the fastest PC guys that we can find. And if you think you can challenge them, get your time trials done when February 2nd arrives. Monza, Hungary, and my favourite, Saudi Arabia, Jeddah. Lovely stuff. Got to give the promotions, got to shout it out. You've got to get down here and wait till you see the action that we've got coming for you on track today. If you didn't see it yesterday, Sausage Joe made a triple overtake, 4th to 1st in one corner. You can't write it, you can't make it up. What a move. 4 wide moments down into turn 1. But for now, the drivers are getting themselves ready because it is time for 29 laps of Losail.
Yeah, getting ready. 29 laps, 29 brutal laps, if I do say so. The tyre wear here, it just absolutely shreds. Them medium tyres, as we saw yesterday, they just drop off so quickly. And I'm really excited to see what we've got for us today as we are getting ready to go for lights out. A little delay, just waiting for the heads up, just waiting for the go ahead. And we should be getting underway very soon. Strategy wise, I'm interested to see what happens here. I think, Nick, even though he is showing he has got the pace here, if he starts on their mediums and the guys behind are on the hards, I don't think he could do it. I don't think he can win it if that is the case. The time difference isn't that big. The undercut isn't that great. It's only a couple of seconds for, 5-6 laps, whereas other tracks, the undercut is massive. But, with it being such a high-speed track here, anything's to play for when it comes to that second stint. Who will get it right? Who will get it wrong? We will have to see. As we get ready, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And away we go for the Qatar GP. It looks like Bananas have a bit of a better start than Nick there. Nick's going to pull to the inside. Banana's going to go to the outside. Who will lead out of turn 1? Banana trying to swing around the outside. Gatcha up a position on Red Devil. Nick's still leading through turn 1, through turn 2, and through turn 3, it looks like. Banana and Gatcha up another position, side by side with his teammate. He's not letting anything get past him today. He's letting his teammate know, I am here, you are not winning if I have something to say about it. Banana just gets ahead as we have a very clean getaway there. Nick already breaching an 8/10 gap down to 6. Maybe a little mistake from Nick there, but we'll have to see. It's all to play for here now. We're underway. Come on, let's get this let's get this going. I am excited.
I am very excited, and what we saw, Gatcha really giving it some pressure to his Alpine counterpart there. For some reason, I don't have sound when I go off board on camera, so I can quickly try and see if I know what's causing it, and I think I know what it is. I turned off the effect, you know, the beep beep noise that the game makes when you're going through settings, so that I could set the grid, set the settings while Sam was doing standings and you wouldn't hear it. But now it seems that I've turned off the audio for the cars on the track, so we can only hear them when we go on board. But so far, Adjaman seems to be the one making a late little move there. We have some cars in a bit of a squabble. He does get himself up into 11th place. It's a good move from the Red Bull. But all in all, everybody is just in a DRS train all the way down. Let me see if I can fix that audio real quick. I know exactly what it is. It's because I turned that off so that that beep would disappear. And there we are.
Yeah, you get that fixed. Nice, that's very good. And just like to point out is the only drivers starting on the hards today is P15 and P16, the Aston Martin and the Haas, St. Mano and Dylan. Will we see them climb up the order? You know, that final stint, they are going to be rapid. It's going to be about them making them positions up as soon as they get that tyre advantage. And, you know, they could see themselves up in the top 10 very, very easily with what they're doing now. Everyone else starting on the mediums, it is all to play for. As IRT Nick has now breached a 1 second gap. He is flying right now. He's pushing. He knows if he just breaks that gap, you know, keeps it, you know, 7, 8, 9 tenths, he will keep the lead very, very comfortably. As a yellow flag, there's a bit of an incident in the back between Dylan, Mano and Fusion. What has gone on there?
Something's happened.
They've lost heaps of time.
I was just on board with Fusion, who was currently under attack from fake Mano and the Haas. The Haas has been on such an attack that Dylan was involved as well and managed to get through. It looks like them two have come to squabbles. The Williams. Oh, wow! Oh, my!
Double retirement. What has happened there? Bit of wheel locking.
Oh,
come
my
on, guys.
God.
Come on, guys.
Oh, my God.
There's just no need for that. I think that was just more unlucky than anything else there. Oh.
I don't know what we have just witnessed. I'm not going to speculate on said. We are under safety car. I mean...
That's one for the steward's room there, Corey. I don't know about you, but...
Oh, well,
wow.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Yeah, no words. I don't want to speculate, but that looked like the worst case scenario you don't ever want to see in league racing.
No, definitely not. I mean, it's lap 2, guys. Come on, you know, you've already lost the time from the little incident you've had. There's no need to be getting in scuffles like that. Really isn't. I mean, all that's going to do is help these medium runners just extend their periods now. Dylan has come into the box. I believe he did have a bit of front wing damage, missing an end plate. But he's gone straight on back onto the hards. He's just going to try and make these hards work. Maybe even go for a hard soft strategy, if that even is possible here. Unfortunately, I've never actually seen anyone do that before, as most would probably think that is quite crazy. But we are under safety car, and, you know, it's never what you want to see at the start of a race. You don't want to see that sort of stuff. There's that Gatcha diving into the pits. Ooh. I wonder what he's thinking.
I wonder what he's thinking.
Is he thinking I can make them hards go to the end?
Absolutely.
I think he is. I think he reckons that the advantage on the hards is going to be massive. You know, they're going to be completely dead at the end, but if he can just keep that gap large, you know, he's gonna fly. Could this be the championship deciding moment? Who knows? Only time will tell.
Well, I'm quite surprised at how things have come about, but I think people who haven't boxed for hards may have made a strategic boo-boo. As you see, other drivers are following in that Alpine. Gatcha went in. This could be the championship decider. Everybody else has gone for the same from Gatcha downwards. the remainder of the grid staying on those mediums. Now, we heard from Sausage Jaw that it is sometimes confusing with this strategy. Sometimes you can go long. He only managed to go 20 laps because he wasn't gaining as much as he thought. He was going to box on 17. This is the difference now. These extra 3 laps are going to make them go to lap 20. For those that question the strategy, no longer have to. They have those laps in the bank. Sausage Joe pulled off a master strategy. You've got to call it out. And we're expecting to see it here again today. And that might be the call, Sam. That might be it. Everybody who's gone on hards now here may be in prime position.
Yeah, I mean, Leon coming in, boxing for another set of mediums. Bit of a questionable decision, you know. He's not going to gain that much from this. You know, the guys ahead are only, 2 laps realistically more tyre wear than him. Maybe he knows something we don't. We'll have to see as we're going to get ready for the safety car restart here. I will let you take this one away, Corey.
Absolutely, we get back to game screen. That little delay always does my head in, but we get on board with Nick, who has been your pole sitter and race leader, as we get ourselves going on lap 4. He's flat to the floor. Nobody's really been caught sleeping. Oh, he has actually. Banana, maybe not turning that battery on. He's Nick deploying half a second there off the start. That's beautiful. Under no pressure into turn 1, but Red Devil all over the rear diffuser of that McLaren ahead. We have moves further down. That's Leon moving his way up on Marius Anderson. He's now looking for a move set on Gatcha after Gatcha's just made the call to swap his tyres. Leon still being on medium or compound. That's all the difference, especially because those hards have not fired up yet. The temperature is not there. Mediums are warmed up, ready to go, ready to rock and roll, and Leon is making use of it.
Yeah, getting them fresh mediums fired up, getting ready. He's just looking to make moves now. Right on the rear diffuser, the Williams of PW Jones. Only a 10 behind, goes down the inside. That is a risky move, but I think he might just make it work. No, just slots in behind. He's looking to go. He's like a dog on a lead right now. He's just waiting to unleash all this pace he's got cooped up as he goes through now on Vettel.
Not quite
just
yet.
Stays behind, sorry. Oh, it's a Mercedes sandwich for Vettel, but Vettel might be looking to make a move on Bobby here. Very close, touching almost. Can fit a piece of paper between the two of them. What's he going to do? Is he going to go past? Still not going to have DRS for this lap. Can he burn the battery? Can he get past, get himself up into the fight for the lead?
Oh, this is getting interesting. This is getting spicy. The cars are pulling out. They're using whatever battery they've got to get in a position. You see the Alpine there. Agacha is going to try and make it side by side. He does get through on PW Jones, but he's trying to chase down Leon ahead. Is Leon the prime target here? It's only lap 6. We have 23 laps to go of racing. Anything is yet to happen at this stage of the race, especially hard runners are only just getting their compound fired up. They're going to have a grip advantage in a couple of laps time compared to those used mediums. They're just not fired up yet. They're just not ready to go. The strategy isn't coming into play, but they're certainly trying to keep with that DRS train. We should see the rear wing active now as we get through on around on this lap. It's just, where do you place these cars? Where do you place the medium runners later down the line? The strategies have been completely flipped, and I'm interested to know when Nick is going to be the one to pit. He's the one who's looking the quickest here. Pole sitter, leading every lap so far, under no pressure at the moment from Banana behind. But Belkowski sat himself there waiting, just staying in that DRS. This is what Sausage Joe was doing. You being the car behind sometime is the better car to be in the overtaking in turn 1.
Yeah, definitely is. Banana's going to get a brilliant run now down the start, finish straight. DRS open, pulls to the inside. I mean, it's just going to be a clean-cut move from here. Bykowski also looking to get rather close. He's going to stay behind for now. He's going to sit there. Oh, a little bit of cards from Nick there. Locking up his tyres, misjudging his braking. That is not what you want to see. We have avoided an incident, thankfully. We'll keep on racing as Banana looking to have, gained a bit of pace since before the safety car restart. Maybe, just sorting himself out, clearing his head. He definitely didn't have the greatest start, by lap 2. Nick was a second ahead, but now Nick's probably thinking to himself, what's happened? Where's this guy come from? He's turned it up. But yeah, very excited to see what's going to unfold throughout the rest of this race.
Absolutely, Banana is ready to rock and roll. He's zoned in, locked in, he's putting down the pressure on Nick. Nick looking good to win this one, seems to enjoy it here in Qatar. That's the way it's looking. He was the pole sitter, the quickest boy in qualifying, but what is to come here as we get through on lap 7 in sector 3, the triple right-hander. The amount of strain you're putting on the left side of that car is monumental. But the tyre strategy is only just beginning. Now we could see the attack from Bilkowski because he is very, very close up to that Aston Martin. But Nick is burning the battery, gets that rear wing open. He's going for the move early on, but don't count out. Like I say, the car from behind can still follow on through, and he does so with ease. Textbook manoeuvres, DRS, battery deployment, get the extra speed and pass them before you get to the corner. It's just the basic 101 of overtaking. You might see that for a lot of the race, but AMS Bobby's looking to make it side by side there against Red Devil. Is he going to push on through as we get up to turn 4? Yes, he is. What a move from the Mercedes, putting the pressure on that V-carb. He's letting Leon lurk ever close behind. I think Devil's struggling. Maybe he's burnt all the battery, doesn't have the speed, and Leon's going to have a perfect run here in sector 2. Coming up to turn number 7, he's side by side, running around the outside. The slight wheel banging, slight contact, but Leon does go on through. There is that Season 1 champion. There is the Season 2 Tier 1 champion. Julian Prince.
Off the track. I think he's had a bit of a moment there, or maybe a little bit of a knock. He's lost a lot of time. That is unfortunate for the French driver there. But yeah, moving back onto the two Mercedes, both of them just working beautifully together. You know, Bobby going through, disrupting Red Devil's line and just setting Leon up perfectly for that move to be made. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they're just going to cruise now. You know, the mediums, lap 9 now, they're going to start to struggle. The hard tyre is going to be the tyre to be on. This is where you're going to see those guys that have boxed, you know, under the safety car start to gain that time back, start to climb through the field. You know, getting ready to box. We saw it yesterday. You know, 20 laps you can do on the hards, no problem. It didn't seem like Sausage Joe was struggling at all, even on 20 lap old hards. But yeah, this is all to play for. It's getting really spicy now at the front, and I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing, you know, the likes of Marius Anderson, Gatcha, Ice Cream start climbing up the order. Even the Fizz, don't count him. He's
sorry
right
to cut you there. Gatcha's been hit. He's spun. He's off the track. He's in the gravel.
Oh, that is heartbreaking for the Alpine driver. He's still just out of DRS. He can definitely get that back, but not sure what happened there. Who was he hit by?
He was squabbling with Vettel. There was some little bit of a battle there. As you was talking about Gatcha, I was waiting for you to finish, and I was going to say, speaking of Gatcha, he's making moves now. The high compound seemed fired up, but there was some form of contact there going into turn 6 hairpin. He got spun or something, locking up the rear. It looked like contact. Ended up on the gravel. Everybody's gone through. Finds himself 1.8 seconds behind, but he's still pushing on. He's not that far behind, but that is a DRS train. Everybody has that wing open, but that Alpine.
Yeah, I mean, Banana is in prime time to make up some points here. He could take the championship lead here today, and it could go down to the last round. I mean, this is exciting stuff. Obviously, very unfortunate for Gatcha, but I love to see it as he's dropped a little more time. Did he maybe pick up a little bit of damage, maybe a little bit of side pod damage, you know, maybe a little bit of wing damage? Who knows? Only he will know for the time being, you know, maybe burn out them tyres a little bit, but this is getting spicy. You know, the medium tyres are just going to be dying now. They're going to be gasping to be pulled off that car. You know, they're going to be red hot. The rubber is going to be stripped off them. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if they're in the high 40s, 50s at this point during the race.
Oh, he's in a bit of a... He's just in a bit of an unfortunate situation now. It's 2 seconds. But Dylan is losing DRS very slowly. Maybe he's caught himself in a bit of a moment though. He's a 1 second gap. It's barely 1 second. It's floating. But now they're coming to the detection zone and he may have just got it. I think he stays within. So it's going to be even harder now for Gatcha. They're all going to have the wing open once again. Nobody's broke that DRS yet. Oh, but that Alpine driver sat so far behind. Here comes changes for the lead. Banana pushes on through, and 25 points would be a blessing in this stages before you go into the final round. He will be able to pass his teammate, and the Alpine rivalry goes to the final race of the season and ends in Silverstone.
Yeah, anywhere in the top three here, and he overtakes his teammates. P4, that'll collect him 12 points, 13 with the fastest lap, and he's going to be, 2-3 ahead, 2-3 behind. It's going to be close coming into the final round, and I can't wait. Red Devil, needs to start thinking about getting himself up there if he wants to stay in this fight, but so far, she's definitely been struggling. I mean, maybe the mediums aren't doing the greatest job for him, but if I were these medium right now, I'd be looking behind at Marius Anderson, Ice Cream, the Fizz, especially them three drivers. They're still right there, just clinging onto the back of this train, and they're going to be the ones that they're going to, these medium runners, in the top 7 are going to have to catch up to. Leon can extend a little longer, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him come in around the same lap that all these do. As Nick dives into the pits, so does, I'm sorry I didn't catch who that was, so does Red Devil. Both now looking to make that undercut. Well, I'll let you take it away.
3 wide, 2 wide. Belkowski versus Leon. Your double champion. He's going to take the lead. Can he get it past the McLaren? What's going to happen? Belkowski manages to defend it in turn 3. In turns 2. Turn 3 away. Is he going to try and send it around turn 4? Belkowski's covering that line well. Leon has got some pace. He's managed to save those tyres perfectly. The mediums are running well. We've seen drivers box already. There could be a move from AMS Bobby as well. The door has been opened. The Mercedes will take it. He says thank you and pushes Banana down another place. Oh no, they're still side by side. Coming up to turn 7 in sector 2, the fight is finally finished and it's a Mercedes 2-3. God, they've got to be communicating. This has got to be teamwork.
Yeah, it has to be. I mean, it's just Leon gets a position, Bobby gets a position. Leon gets a position, Bobby gets a position. They're just following each other. And you know what I've just thought of, Corey? I think I know why Leon has boxed early. I think I know why he went on another set of mediums under the safety car.
Just for this
reason.
He's
got a bit of PTSD from last week. I think he's thinking, you know what? My tyres are going to explode on the same lap as everyone else. I'm going to box early. We see all the drivers pulling in now. Leon is going to be the only one out of the medium run. He'll be, out on the track. Marius Anderson, Ice Cream and the Fizz are now in the fight. They are here. They've made their presence known. Can they make them hards go to the end? Oh, a little bit of a slide from Leon there. Not what you want to see as he comes through turn 2 now. Up to turn 3. I mean, Leon's just got to push like no tomorrow now. He has got no choice but to if he wants to stay up there. And, I'm excited to see it. I think Leon has just been, ever since our safety car restart, he's just been making moves. You've got to remember, he started dead last on the grid. But he doesn't care. He's here to make a name for himself.
Oh, I just realised that it was showing the 3 seconds in penalties. I apologise for that. Because nobody had penalties. I didn't realise it was on the penalty screen. But again, like you said, Leon, he's looking good. He's looking squared away. That PTSD certainly playing on his mind. He does not want a repeat. He knows it's high downforce here. He knows that the left side tyres take a beating. And it was his rear left side that blew in Bahrain. So...
See, told you, it's all in the mind.
He's maybe feeling that little bit of pressure, so he opted for another set of meads, go a bit longer, guarantee the hards are going to last if he needs to box when he does, and the mediums can't go any longer. There it is, there's the call. He's covering off a potential undercut, but the undercut's not very powerful here. It's all about overcut. The overcut is massive here, so maybe that might not have been the call.
No, maybe not, or maybe he's just looking at them tyres and thinking they get a little too close to punch territory for my liking. But if I was the Ferraris now, I would be looking at switching DRS and just pushing on as much as they can. They're not going to be as quick as the drivers behind, but the difference is minimal, as we saw yesterday. Fresh hards compared to fresh mediums, especially compared to worn hards compared to fresh mediums. Sorry, getting myself mixed up there. The difference isn't that much. So worn hards to fresh hards, the difference is maybe 5,000th a lap, or maybe a tenth a lap. It really isn't that much. And they're probably looking at going to the end from here, honestly. I mean, depending on their tyre wear, if it is low, that's the plan here. Could we see a Ferrari 1-2? Could we see the Fizz get himself up there, get himself a race win?
Oh, there's contact with AMS Bobby ahead with IRT Nick. Apologies to cut you off running there, but I was just on board with Belkowski as these lot were having themselves quite a little bit of a scrap. They were getting really close to each other, and then boom, side by side, IRT Nick, wheel banging, Bobby goes off, he's back on, and the order's sort of reset. Well, that could have been dramatic. That could have seen Bobby's race destroyed. If he'd have gone a little bit wider, that gravel would have caught him.
Just gonna get you back and interrupt you again, Brooksy. Is AMS Bobby is on the medium tyre. He's boxed from mediums to mediums. What is he thinking? Is that a mistake on his half? I mean, that's very bizarre from him. I was not expecting to see a two-stop strategy here today, but I mean, maybe we're gonna get it. Unless, did he start on the hards? I don't think he did. I think he has been on the medium since the start, hasn't he?
I want to say yes, because we did have almost a full set of medium runners off the start, and then we had a driver box for hards. I don't think we had one hard runner off the start. Everybody had gone for that medium, but there was the safety car. We saw everybody box for, saw half the grid box for hard compounded tyre. This has been an absolute roller coaster of unknown strategies and unknown perceptions. You don't know what's going to happen. You can't predict it. It's all over the show at the moment. I've got to say, Sam, this is very hard to judge. But Bobby going for a mediums again? Questionable.
Does he know something we don't? Is he thinking I can pull a gap out here? As he is flying right now, purple sector 1, purple sector 2. He's looking to get that fastest lap. He will be the fastest car on track right now. Fresh mediums, for them first 5, 6, 7 laps. They are very quick. They are very grippy. But is it going to be enough to make, a lasting gap? Can he pull them positions back? Is he looking to go on the softs at the end to just, get that bit of pace? Or has he just made a mistake? Has his engineer got the wrong tyres on? Who knows? But, yeah, Bobby's setting the fastest lap there, I believe, unless that is just a visual glitch. But, yeah, he's definitely flying at the moment. But Nick just behind. Still, he's just going to sit there. Nick is going to know right now that he is, he is ahead of Bobby essentially, because Bobby has to pit again. You can't be on the same tyre twice.
Yeah.
For 2 laps in a row. For 2 stints in a row. You have to change compound unless you are in the wet conditions. I don't know what he's thinking. I'll let you guys speculate on that. Maybe in the chat, give us anyone else knows something, let us know, because we are definitely confused right now.
Yeah, it's a questionable strategy to say the least. I'm trying to think of any reason that could justify it, and my mind has drawn a blank. So even I couldn't provide any sort of insight or answers as to why he would go mediums again. I don't even think they would last as long as he would like them to. We saw drivers boxing, and maximum lap 14 was Leon, and when he's out, I think he's already done a few laps so far, maybe 3 laps, so it could be 16 laps he may do on them mediums. It's going to cost him 3-second warning. There it is. Penalties in the pits. That's it. I think that could be. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, it definitely was a mistake then. Unfortunate, because he had pace. He was flying today. I was getting very excited watching him race, but
Adjo man with a dive. Oh, turn 6, Adjo man, take a bow.
Wow. I mean, Ice Cream looking like he's struggling a bit now. Maybe them worn hards are really getting to him. He's got 12 laps left, 13 laps left to do. Is he thinking he can't make them work? Are these guys gonna do what Sausage Joe did? Go to lap 20, go to lap 21, 22, whatever, and just get on them mediums and just have that tyre advantage. What is going through their mind right now?
They're going to have a massive pace advantage, but for how long can they use that advantage? As Gatcha's only around 12 seconds, maybe for 13, 14
13,
seconds.
14, yeah, it's
Yeah,
hovering around that 13, 14 mark. But you got to remember, Gatcha also on 13 lap hold hards. He had that moment, put himself to the back of the grid. He's going to get caught very quickly here by the likes of Nick and Bukowski, Banana, them guys behind that are on the fresh hards. I really do think Gatcher is out of it today. I think, with that bit of contact, with that spin, it's really put himself down. He's definitely going to struggle to, maximise on the points today.
yeah, it is going to, but Banana, he was looking good for attacking and taking over. Gatcher's had his moments. He's still there in P5. 11 laps to go. It's questionable. It's questionable. Is anything going to happen with him? Can he get the points needed to stop Banana from charging back up? Oh.
Who knows? But you do have to remember as well, it might say 14 laps on the tyre delta, on the tyre screen right now, but, you've got to remember they did 3 laps under the safety car. They're only going to have to do a couple more laps than Sausage Joe did yesterday. But, we don't know. Did Sausage Joe pit, right when them tyres were hitting puncture territory, or did he have more life in them? Could he have gone further? We're going to find out today, and I'm very excited. Marius Anderson hasn't won since Australia, I believe. Don't know if you can correct me there, or... Oh, a little bit of a snap from Banana there as I'm riding on board, sorry. Marius Anderson won 1 this season, correct?
He has, I think it was Australia that he took victory in. It was a very good race and a very good show of talent. But, Leon's getting on through the head of Banana and Red Devils following him on through. I think they're going to go to the end. The Fizz, Marius Anderson and Adjaman, I think you're absolutely right. I think that's it. They are going to go to the end. I don't see them boxing again.
No, and, the gap from Nick to the leader currently 17.3 seconds. However, that gap is going down every corner, every turn, every exit, every entry. They're going to have better grip for the entirety of this race. But is it going to be enough? 17 seconds in 11 or 10 and a half laps now. I don't think it's possible, especially at Qatar. I really don't.
I know what you're saying. He may be able to get close. He may be able to chip a couple tenths out here and there. I don't think he's going to be able to break it down to saying that. It's, 16 now? 15
yeah,
and dropping?
16, just into the 16s there. 16.8, 16.4 now. As the leaders are, swapping position with DRS on the straight. The only place they can lose time, well, the only place they're not going to lose time is going to be that start finish straight. As they're all there, they've all got DRS. They're just going to be swapping. Gatcha has boxed indeed. Will he retire or will he go into the mediums?
No, he's going mediums. I just don't know where he may come out. I don't. Oh, Nick! Big moment for the Aston Martin. 3 seconds slapped on his wrist. I don't know if that was something with a McLaren. They've been scrapping very, very hard though. But whatever it is, has given him that 3-second time penalty added to the end of his race. He is now fighting for position with Belkowski. Oh, that is unfortunate. We was on board with Belkowski, but we did see the Aston Martin wobbling and barely keeping himself within inches of that gravel trap. Like, he was on the blue, almost in the gravel. Ooh, it could have been bad.
Geez. I think it is just tire temps. He's had a couple of moments on this lap. I don't think the McLaren had anything to do with it, if I'm honest with you, Corey. Yeah, Nick struggling this lap. Could this be the end of his race in terms of, the hopes to catch them leaders ahead?
I don't know, he's like you say, we don't think he's going to have the time to pull out of the bag to catch. If he did and managed to get through, he won't breach that 3-second.
No, I don't think he will. I mean, just catching the leaders ahead will be a miracle in its own. Over a second a lap, nearly 2 seconds a lap it'd take, to catch these guys ahead. But I don't think they're going to have the tyre advantage. I don't think they're going to have the pace to do it. I think, even the Fizz, could be looking at getting a race win here today. You know, Banana struggling, only gaining 1 point so far. I mean, that safety car has really tossed a spanner in the works for a lot of these drivers here. And I think, you know, the guys that did box onto the hards, provided they don't, you know, have some exploding tyres as Leon did last week, I'm never going to let that man live it down. But yeah, provided they can go to the end from here, I think they've absolutely pulled a masterclass.
Yeah, I think they've all gone with the right call, the optimum call. You can see Belkowski there leading on Nick. It's only 14.6 seconds. It's not enough of a time break. They're not chipping it away enough. It's just tenths. It's all the gaining, just a few tenths. Those high compound are doing the mileage needed. Now, we saw Sausage Jaw box on lap 20. Was that puncher territory? You did question it, Sam. It's certainly up for debate, but only one man knows, as he's ran the race at hand. He knows what it's like under the pressure, making the overtakes, using the tyre compound, and 20 laps in he made that call. These drivers need to make it go longer than 20, these at the front. If they want to go the distance here, which is now looking like the case, they're going to have to run them for a few more laps.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're getting close to that 20 lap mark. I'd say around about lap 22, lap 23 is when they'd be on similar tyre wear to what Sausage Joe was on yesterday. But yeah, we're getting close here, and you know, final stages of the race. Not much action, but this is just as intriguing in my opinion. Can these guys get to the end? Can they conquer this beast of a track with, you know, it's going to be over 25 lap all tires by the time they get to the end here. And yeah, I'm interested to see what happens here.
Oh yeah, I'm certainly interested to see. The fight certainly is at the front of the field, though, because they're going to try and keep themselves ahead. And that time has broken down to 13 seconds as Nick now leads against Belkowski. This is where things may start to show the difference, because the time's coming down a little bit quicker now. But 13 seconds within 7 laps is a massive margin to gain. Not only that, they have been slapped with time penalties while these front four are managing those hard compound tyres, trying to make them go the distance. 19 laps so far. Just one more lap, they reach that unknown point. You get to 20, you do not know what's going to happen. We've only seen one driver so far in Qatar make it 20 laps. 21, do you start to feel the pressure? 22, even more. 23 gets a little dangerous. But they have to do it. They have to make it last, because they should be going, 25 laps at least when they cross the line on those hard tyres. So it's 5 laps over what we know on the tyre information so far from Tier 1. It's a risky call. It is a risky call. We saw last week Leon went 1 lap later and blew out that rear left on the medium compounds. Or was it softs? I think it was softs, actually.
I think it was the softs, yeah. So that is to be expected, but still, what a race we've got here.
Belkowski 13 seconds. It's not enough. It's still not enough. 12.7 still dropping. It's not enough. It's still not enough. He's trying everything he can with Nick. They've been exchanging DRS. They've been making a couple swaps, but they're just not gaining enough. It's unfortunate to see. Nick was looking prime position, strong, dominant from qualifying to take the victory here tonight. It's just not to be. To be or not to be, and for Nick, it is not.
Dylan comes into the pits there, retires. He's had a tough race, you know. Bless him. Quite a few retirements today. Is that got something to do with Qatar? You know, it's not the most popular track. Me personally, I love watching it. I definitely don't like racing it. The tyre wear is horrendous. You know, the braking, especially in Sector 2, is just awful, in my opinion, you know. But it's one of them, you've got to have the mental strength to do it, you've got to have the pace to do it, and sometimes it just gets to you, and I completely understand.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, my friend. You know, it's okay doing it in time trial, it's alright doing it on the 1 lap pace, but to last the full 29 laps under the same competitive focus, it's, especially around a track like this, dealing with the harsh conditions, the abrasive track, the high downforce, the torrential triple right-handers that just eat that left side tyres, absolutely shred them and burn them away. It can really, really damage in a way your mental stability when you've got all that pressure, especially under race pace. You need to remain focused.
Oh, what's happened there? Someone has spun. I think that was Vettel. Vettel's had a little bit of a moment and he's retired in the pits. He's had a moment coming out the final corner. He's got wing damage, in fact. Was there contact there? Who knows? Sorry to interrupt.
You're good. Call out the action, my friend. It's what we're here for. Anything happens, you call it out. And if we can see it, we get it on the screen. I'm here for the content. I'm here for the controversy. I'm here for the drama. I want to see racing. I want to see hard, aggressive manoeuvres. But, of course, the stewards do not like to see it. See, it's a love-hate relationship. I love it because I'm a commentator. I hate it because I'm a steward.
But who's to blame there?
It's my job. It's the only thing I can do. So at the moment, it is literally love-hate, love-hate.
Yeah, I mean, gap now down to 11 seconds. It's not going to happen. You know, it's over. Let's face it. It's just, unless we see 3 simultaneous tyre blowouts, I don't think these guys are catching up. These guys aren't catching up as Marius Anderson gets down the inside of Arjuman there. He's side by side still through turn 2. Arjuman's going to have that inside line, the preferable line going through turn 2, especially when you're fighting. Marius stays right with him and he just pips ahead, but they're still close together. I think Marius is going to just get this. You know, Arjuman boxed in, sticks it around the outside almost. Marius gets that move done. Arjuman going. He's not giving that. Pushed off the track, maybe a bit there. Side enough to warrant the space. Who knows? Only the stewards will be able to tell us after.
That looked like, I don't know. That was close. That was very, very close. I'm gonna say I could see it perfectly. And if he was the fine line between his front wheel being just at the right position alongside the car to warrant racing space. It's the fine line. We may need footage on that. But from what I saw there, I don't know if that Red Bull was entitled to it. That may be one for the stewards' room. Controversy. See, I love it, but I hate it, so I don't know whether to react with joy or sorrow. Tom says Jekyll and Hyde ass moment. You know it. It is. I love it, but I hate it. Was it cleanly? Was it there? Was it within the rules? I'm questioning myself.
Listen, that's to worry about later. Right now, what we've got to worry about, who is going to take it between these front 3. You know, we've got the underdog, kicks out, but the Fizz, he's P1 right now. He's held it for a couple of laps now. You know, Marius and Arjuman scrapping then. All that's going to do is give the Fizz that extra lap where he can just stay ahead. Marius Anderson in P2, you know, he's a name. He's proven he can do it. You know, he's going to want that win. He's not had a win since Australia, and very early on in the season, a very hard-fought victory. And today, maybe not so much a hard-fought victory, but a strategic masterclass it looks, as we're going to be coming on to the final 2 laps in a moment. Who has got the pace? Will Marius stay behind? Will he go for it on the final lap? Who knows? What do you reckon?
I think it is maybe Marius is just going to recharge final lap down that DRS straight. If he's not under pressure from Adjaman, bearing in mind they have the tyres to worry about. We need to take all of that into consideration. They now go 24 laps completed on those tyres. 4 laps over than what we have seen so far in Qatar, and it is the penultimate lap. They need to manage it, but Marius looks like he's faking a dummy, maybe putting the Fizz under the pressure getting closer. It could come in these corners. We've seen some moves. Turn 2, turn 3, even around the outside of turn 4 earlier on in the first stint. And look how close the Ferrari's getting to that kick Sauber. He's right on the rear diffuser. He wants that position. He wants it now. Maybe it's the time to shine, or will he wait for the final lap with that DRS? Because again, if you can get the run out of turn 16, the Fizz, if he has the battery, may be able to drag it down towards the line. It'll be a photo finish and a lovely finish to see. You're not used to seeing a kick Sauber on top, but maybe it is to be for the Fizz. Marius Anderson, though, like you say, he's chasing that victory. Hasn't won since Australia. It is all to play for. Ferrari versus VCARB. Maybe the Red Bull can get in the mix.
He's going for it. He's going to try it. Doesn't quite get the move done. A little bit of bump margin there. Oh, he wants to get past. He wants it. He wants the position. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Fizz is currently sitting on a lot of battery. He's going to need it for this final DRS zone. Where will we be by turn 1? What is going to happen here? Could we see some controversial moments as they come onto the final lap? 25 laps on those tyres. Marius Anderson to the outside. Arjuman's going to follow him through. The Fizz is just going to have to sit there and wait.
Arjuman!
Oh, there's contact. The Fizz is going to get back through. The Fizz is backing up. Oh! Big moment from Ice Cream there. That's it. I think the Fizz has done it. He's been
Fizz
patient.
goes through! Can you believe it?
That is crazy. I don't know what has happened there. I'm not quite sure which Ferrari that is. He's just squeezed too much. It was 3 wide. Arjuman, he's missing a lot on that front wing. Wow. That was mental. I said it. Where will we be at turn 1? Could we have controversy? And we certainly did. Wow, I think it was Ice Cream and Arjuman got caught up there with Marius. Not quite sure who's at fault for that. Didn't quite see who the Ferrari was there, as Ice Cream and Arjuman both on time penalties, both with wing damage. Now it is a fight for P3.
Oh my word, that was diabolical. But the fight is still on between these two. They are both missing that front left part of the wing. It's damaged severely for the Red Bull.
Hold on,
the
Corey.
fight is still
Just
on.
to interrupt you there. Leon is now within space. Leon's going to take P3 here. Leon's going to take P3.
The
wow.
Fizz crosses the
line in P1.
Oh, there's a
Marius
drag to the
Anderson, P2.
line. No. Leon goes over for 3.
Yeah,
that's it.
P3
there it
for
is.
Leon. Wow. What a race. What a race indeed.
Oh my god, that was nail biting.
Gatcha P11. Unfortunate race for Gatcha there, caught himself up in a bit of an incident. Was it his fault? Was it not? Who knows? We'll have to see at the end in the stewards room. Picks up a point, but still, he will still be leading the championship. He's still at the top. I'm not sure what the gap is just now. I've not had the chance to calculate in my head. But yeah, that was some close racing. And wow, what a strategy from the front 4. Unfortunate with the incident, but if it wasn't for that incident, it'd have been 1, 2, and 3, and 4 would have just been them drivers. But it happens. Everyone wants to make the positions up. Yeah, I'm not going to say anything further on that. That is one for the stewards. Definitely one for you to deal with later, Corey. You have a lot of fun with that.
Well, the Fizz, though, takes his victory. Well-founded and fought. He managed to get on through after a controversial final turn 1. Takes the victory. Marius Anderson secures that P2. Leon, Red Devil, Ice Cream, Adjaman, Bielkowski, Banana, only managing to get 4 points there, so the gap drops to 9. But oh no, Gatcha got a point. It is 10 between the two. Nick in 9th, Scatcher in 10th. PW Jones, Vettel, Dylan, Bobby, Gillian Prince Fusion, and Fake Mano finishing the order there and then. What a controversial Qatar Grand Prix. The penultimate round is bringing the action. The season's coming to a close. The championship is not wrapped up. It is still all to play for. This is
Hold on a minute, Corey,
insane.
sorry. Red Devil in P4 with 12 points. He's put himself right back in this fight. He's only, 10, 12 points now behind the leader.
Whereas before, it was 10, 12 points behind P2. I think he's put himself right back in this fight. Could we see a three-way fight for the championship in the final round? I surely hope so. As will we be doing interviews?
We shall. I'm just going to see if anybody's interested in it. We have a little waiting room so people can join. He got 12 points. He is going to be on 99, is Red Devil, whereas Banana got 4. That puts him at 104. 5-point difference.
Who do we want in the interview room? Do we want the top 3 or do we want the championship contenders?
We want the top 3 of this Grand Prix, but we will hear from the championship contenders next round in the final. The top 3 that are now a 3. It's not 1 and 2. It is a 3-way fight. Red Devil has confirmed that he will be there for the final round that could make the difference. It's not over yet. It will be Silverstone. It will be a fight. Oh, wow. I'm excited for this one. We have our P3 sitter in with us. I'm going to ping P2 and P1 quickly just to see if they want to get in for an interview. But for now, we can take a look at our P3 sitter. Leon! Go on, lad. The champion takes another podium yet again after what was a dramatic Bahrain last week. Your first race in Tier 2. You had a blowout on the rear left. And God damn. It's a nice little comeback, though, to get yourself going here in Tier 2. Podium, once again. You've done it all too many times in Tier 1. How was your qualifying? We saw you were struggling, mate. What was that, invalidations?
Yeah, just too many invalidations, really. Just didn't really prepare for the race. So couldn't really care less about the qualifying. I knew I probably could have cut through the field, which I did. So yeah, P17 to P3 ain't that bad.
No, P3 is a good end result. In the fighting, though, the strategy, what was your thoughts on that? Because we saw that you were going a little bit longer and we saw people box early on for hards to go the distance. Did you think that could work?
No, not at all. After my luck last race, I didn't want to take the chance. I decided to go on the mediums on the safety car. I lost no positions. So yeah, and then I think I boxed like lap 14 or 13. But yeah, the hards felt absolutely horrendous. They felt like the worst tyre I've ever been on. But yeah.
Not too shabby then. Not too shabby to end up with a P3. Congratulations, and we hope to see you again in the podium next week so you can just confirm that you are the champion. But next season's going to be interesting, mate. I want to see what happens there, to say the least. Will you be dethroned? Do you feel like there's some extra competition here that may be able to challenge you?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be more extra competition, but I still gonna go back myself up. I still believe I can do it. So yeah.
Beautiful stuff. On to Sam. Any questions, my friend?
To be honest with you, Corey, you've answered everything I was going to ask him,
Apologies.
except for one question. Now, when that safety car came out, Leon, and you boxed for, another set of mediums, you didn't go on to the hards like, the front 4 did in the end. Was that a bit of PTSD from last weekend, thinking, maybe I don't want to have a blown out tyre? Track is especially hard on the lefts. I just have to hear it from you. It's been a burning question for me.
Yep, definitely. But it was pretty clear at that stage of the race. The hards were definitely not going to make it. I'm going to be honest, those guys at the front done a good job to keep them, fine. No puncher except from the 2. But, yeah.
Well, that's all from me for you, Leon. Obviously, brilliant race. You kept your head in it. Despite the fact that them hard runners were so far ahead, just you keeping your head down and not giving up has got you that P3. Well done, mate. Yeah, brilliant race from P17. Deserved driver of the day for me.
Just mate.
On to P2. Marius Anderson looking strong in qualifying, looking strong in the Grand Prix, but a turn 1 catastrophe may be all the difference that could have cost you race victory there. But P2 podium finish, it's a good result. How was your qualifying? Give us a quick rundown.
It felt good. I had a good stable setup. I felt confident in. And yeah, happy to get my best qualifying of the season. So
No, it was a good result there. And then in the race, you were certainly bringing the fight, certainly into the final stint there. You were getting close, getting very close to victory. But of course, accidents happen. And what do you think? Maybe was a bit far fetched there for Adrian, a bit of a late lunge. Do you think?
yeah, it's unfortunate with people like that thinking they can just, go for it wherever and just expect me to fly out of the way for him. Yeah, unfortunate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
not
is.
not, not much more to say.
Do you think you could win in Silverstone? That's the question.
Pfft, I don't know, man. Silverstone not my favorite track, but I will definitely give it a go.
Nevertheless, we can try. Congrats on the P2 and on to Sam.
Yeah, brilliant race from you today, Marius. You've perfected the strategy with that safety car there. Was there at any point, did you think, are these tyres going to make it? Because we saw yesterday, Sausage Joe went 20 laps on the hards and then called it in, came in for the mediums and then won the race. How were you feeling in them final closing laps with the tyre wear?
It felt good. I had a very good setup for tire wear, and myself, I was doing a lot of tire saving, so the tires felt great.
Well, all I can say other than that is just well done. You perfected the strategy. Unfortunate with the incident at the first corner there, but it happens. That's one for the stewards room definitely. But yeah, well done. Congratulations on the P2, mate.
Thank you.
And on to P1, the Fizz. Just recently realised this is your second victory this season. So congratulations, certainly the one to benefit the most out here in Qatar with a controversial ending, leading a couple of laps in that charge ahead. How was the fighting though, trying to get yourself up for that victory, which did inevitably fall on your lap? How was it all? Perfect car placement, by the way, when that incident happened.
Yeah, it was a very, very good race. I was honestly not expecting to finish first from 14th or 15th, wherever I was. Um, and yeah, and that last lap, turn one, they collided, and yeah, it was unfortunate, but yeah, I managed to hold it. Marius did not want to give in on lap 28 because I wanted him to overtake, but he didn't want to do it, so I had to hope that something was going to happen, and it did. So.
Well, it did, and ultimately fall on your lap. You managed to get yourself straight on through and take a race victory. Obviously, you're saying qualifying, you weren't expecting too much from it, weren't expecting to be too quick, but you did certainly take a good, well fought victory. The strategy at going long certainly played out with those drivers, so congratulations on that. Sam, any questions from you?
Yeah, just what made you make that call to go on the hards at the end, the start? Sorry. What was the deciding moment? You thought, you know what, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go for it here.
Well, there's a lot of people, a lot of drivers were doing this. I knew what they were doing, and there's I don't know how many did it, but it's probably about 8, 9 drivers that went into the pits, and I knew they were going to put the hard tires on, and I thought we're still under safety car. And it's going to be a DRS train, so it's going to be like what 15 seconds, like gain, and if I can keep that sort of pace up, they weren't going to catch. So it was literally just a gamble, and I thought just a long way on a hard tire. I didn't think it would make it personally, but it held out, and surprisingly, it actually felt quite decent. It wasn't that bad. Um, Traction coming out of long corners felt a bit wobbly, but the hard tire actually felt all right in a long distance. I think it's about 65-70% more on the left side, so and it still held out quite well.
Yeah, I mean, brilliant race, brilliant strategy, and one thing I've got to know is just what went through your mind as you entered turn one and you just saw them drivers ahead come together and just veer off the track completely. I mean, in that moment, you've got to be panicking. You've got to be thinking, oh my God, I can do it. P17 to P1. You've got to be the Iron Max Verstappen in that moment. You just got to go for it, I imagine.
I knew Marius was going for it because I could see him twitching out of corners. So, I think if my heartbeat went any higher, I would have had a heart attack. Let's put it that way. Yeah, I was quite nervous.
Listen,
Definitely.
it was a brilliant race from you, brilliant strategy. You perfected it perfectly. You know, P17 to P1 on the grid. It's a mighty climb through the field from yourself, and I've got nothing but congratulations for you.
Well, win's a win in my eyes. So
It certainly is.
regardless of what happened, it's a win. So
Listen, as
anyone could have done it.
long as you keep yourself out of incidents, keep them track limit penalties to a minimum, anything can happen.
Yeah, I was one away, by the way.
Well, there you go. I bet you're glad you didn't extend.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Well, anyway, well done, mate. Brilliant
Appreciate
race
it.
from yourself. Brilliant watch.
I'm sure it was.
And that will do us for the Qatar Grand Prix. Penultimate round is done and dusted, and we get ourselves ready for a final round showdown in Silverstone. Same time, same place. You do not want to miss this. 3 drivers in contention. It could fall to anybody. You saw what happened here tonight. Safety car came out early. Controversial moments, drama to say the least. The Silverstone, with its action-packed corners, is certainly going to bring us a fight. Well, for now, that is all, and we shall see you next week.